The suspect in a campus shooting on the West Coast has been found dead. You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Buffa. The Las Vegas sheriff says at least 3 victims have been taken to the hospital. It happened at the University of Nevada this afternoon. The university said on social media, this is not a test. Run, hide, fight. A bail package has been given to a local pastor charged with sexual exploitation of a minor. Steve Langford has the story.
Exiting federal court in Central Islip, some family members of Jose Saez Jr., a Brentwood pastor charged with sexual exploitation of a minor. His attorney advancing a step toward the release of Saez from federal custody.
I understand these are challenging cases based upon the nature of the case, but defendants are presumed innocent and they are entitled to bail.
Judge James Wicks agreeing to a $2.7 million bail package, contingent on several conditions, including moving in with his grandmother.
The court essentially ruled that the restrictions that the court imposed secured the fact that our client would not be a danger to the community by imposing home incarceration without the ability to have any internet access, essentially.
Prosecutors initially claimed Saez coerced a 16-year-old boy into taking and sending graphic photos and then sharing them with others. But the prosecution now acknowledges that teenager was 19 years old, though the government told the court it has since found about 30 other minors who sent Saez photos and videos now being examined. About 25 supporters, family and friends, crowded into court to support Saez during the arraignment and bail hearing.
Well, it says that he's been a member of this community. He's been preaching in his community for decades, and he has tremendous support and love.
Prosecutors say they are going through hundreds of thousands of videos, images, and online chats. Saez has entered a not guilty plea. He sat in a wheelchair during his court appearance.
He's not well. He's been diagnosed with MS, and we would like to have him evaluated.
As the judge announced his decision to release Saez on bail under strict conditions, prosecutors immediately announced their intention to contest the ruling to free the pastor. Prosecutors are appealing the release of the defendant, who will remain in custody for now, pending the appeal to be heard in the next couple of days. Steve Langford for Newsday TV.
The MTA is recommending a $15 toll to drive below 60th Street in Manhattan. A 5-member board voted on the issue today. Now, the single vote against the increase came from the only Long Island rep on the board. Alfonso Castillo has more on what this means for commuters and what happens next.
If you are a driver and you're driving into the city regularly, you don't want to pay a new toll. This is going to be on top of the tolls that you already pay, an additional $15. People out here on Long Island, we did a poll with Siena College, came out last week, a couple of weeks ago, showed that nearly 3/4 of Long Island voters are against this. They say this is the kind of thing that pushes people out of New York altogether. But transit advocates, people who use the subway, who use the railroad, who live in the city, a lot of them think this is a good thing. It'll get more cars off the road, it'll improve air quality, and it will fund infrastructure investments in transit. Now, with this vote, the MTA can begin a series of public hearings that are expected to take place in February and March, and they're going to be gathering public comments. The plan then comes back to the MTA board for final approval sometime after that, and the MTA hopes to have these new tolls in place by late spring.
Head over to Newsday.com for the latest on the pricing and the impact on Long Islanders. And first in Newsday, there was a clean energy milestone on the East End today. The $2 billion South Fork wind farm started sending power to the Long Island grid.
We're celebrating the first offshore wind turbine to be built in federal waters. But the first of thousands of what will, by 2030, power half of Long Island, and by 2035, power about a third of New York State.
The other turbines off Montauk near Rhode Island are expected to begin sending power in coming weeks. And former News 12 anchor Bill Zimmerman has died. The 83-year-old Press Club Hall of Famer died in his home in Lake Success. Zimmerman was also a CNN anchor and later went on to teach at Stony Brook. He is survived by his wife, daughters, and sons. And some unvaccinated healthcare workers will have to wear masks again. This comes as state officials declared the flu prevalent across the state. This impacts workers at hospitals, nursing homes, and more. And state numbers say flu cases have increased 34% outside of the city as of November 25th. And the Belmont Stakes is moving upstate, at least for now. Belmont Park will be going under a $455 million renovation. The last time the racetrack was renovated was in 1968. The signature race will take place in Saratoga. All right, let's take a look at your Long Island weather. It's going to be another mild one tomorrow, but tonight it's going to get cold, and there might even be some flurries. We're taking a closer look at tomorrow. You can see we're in the 40s for most of the day with cloud cover overhead.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Home Tax Saver, PTRC Incorporated.
Mike Del Judas gave us an exclusive sneak peek of his new songs right here at Newsday Studios. Elisa DiStefano has the story you'll see only in Newsday.
Another sold-out event.
Yeah,
And this time it's all about your original music.
I'm excited. I'm very excited.
All right, let's
I hope
do it.
they're ready.
Mike Del Judas was back for another Newsday Live event, an album release party.
When I get home, you got that smile on your face.
So honored to have you debut your new album, Mass Production, here with us.
Yes, special. It was special last time, so not a better place to do it.
You know you're my best friend.
Mike performed in Newsday's state-of-the-art multimedia space here at our headquarters.
What does it take to put an album like this together?
It took a while, man. It did. And then COVID happened, so everything, that's when I said, you know what, there's a lot of time we're going to have here, so why not go in? And hence the mask production, because we were all in the studio wearing masks. My lyric writing has become so literal and very, very truthful about my life and the things that I go through that you're kind of putting your diary out to the world. And this is about as real me lyrically as you can get. And it's probably the most into a project that I've ever been, that I've done originally. There's so much of my heart in this and so much of my family life.
He brought his son up on stage and was joined by band members for impromptu performances, all met with audience applause.
So now you're releasing it to
Yes.
your fans here on
Yes.
Long Island and to the world. What's that
Yeah.
like for you?
It's terrifying. You know, it's absolutely terrifying. You know, it's easy when you're on stage and you're playing songs that everybody knows because you know they're going to like them, you know, and it's the old question in your head always is like, are they going to like what I do?
There ain't no place I call.
Elisa DiStefano, Newsday TV.
Now you can watch the entire event tonight and read more about Mike Del Judas. Go to Newsday.com, click Get More for the Newsday TV video box. The Mets' star closer will return to the mound after a devastating injury. Laura Albanese just spoke to Edwin Diaz in his home of Puerto Rico. It's a story you'll see only in Newsday.
Edwin Diaz grew up playing in this field in Naguabo, a fishing town in Puerto Rico that was destroyed by Hurricane Maria. With spring training around the corner, he came back to give out equipment to a bunch of little league teams. In addition to that, he's been rehabbing, and he says he's going to be 100% come spring training.
I'm feeling great. I'm healthy. I'm doing a lot of stuff. Like I feel really good. I will be ready for spring training, and right now I'm running and doing everything, and I feel really happy about my recovery.
Sí, él se propuso una meta.
Diaz suffered a devastating knee injury while playing for Team Puerto Rico in the World Baseball Classic last offseason. And no one really knew when or how he'd come back. But his dad said in Spanish that Edwin's goal was to be ready if the Mets needed him in September
Estaba listo para
and in
participar
postseason.
y logró su meta de estar listo para el equipo en el año.
And it looks like he would have been, which is definitely good news for this upcoming spring training.
In 4 months, I was almost ready to go. You know, we slow it down as when we see the team that don't going to make the playoff.
In his hometown, Edwin is known as a hero who gives back to others, and he was actually doing that today by giving equipment to kids with the help of the Amazing Mets Foundation. When he does this, though, he says that what he's doing is actually paying it forward.
when I was growing up, my mom did a lot of activity to get money to pay our flights and all our team to play baseball, and the community helped us a lot.
His grandma, great aunts, and parents all still live close by, and he's got 2 murals dedicated to him and his brother. That would be Alexis, who plays for the Reds. Edwin also helped the town recover from Hurricane Maria in 2017, helping bring electricity back to the area.
I made my dream come true because I knew all these people was watching me, so I want to have a good debut to show them like everything paid off.
This has been Laura Albanese reporting from Puerto Rico for Newsday TV.
How cool is that? Now, to read more about Diaz's rehab, go to Newsday.com, click Get More, pull the Newsday TV video box.
We are the people that go to meetings, look at the documents for you. That means a lot to the people who influence policy. It means a lot to our readers.
Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Buffa. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll leave you now with a look at your 7-day forecast.